Hey everybody, yes, welcome back to the shop. So my wife made it home from her open heart surgery. It wasn't as bad as what they had said originally the first time. It was going to be a quadruple bypass. It only turned out to be a double bypass. So she is home. She is doing very, very well. Her breathing has gotten better. Everything has just gotten better with her. So I'm finally hitting the shop, and there goes the heater again. It's right on cue every single time. So I do have a special guest in the shop with me this weekend. This is my oldest daughter, Brittany Great-Honest. She is with the Mason Moore Foundation. There was a big Dateline segment on it about 2 weeks ago. So I really thought, and she's got a little project she wants to do. So we are going to turn the floor over to Brittany with the Mason Moore Foundation. How's it going today?
It's going.
It's going, all right.
So if you don't know a little bit about Mason Moore and that story, he was out on patrol. He's a deputy here in Montana, and he was lost in the line of duty after his wife, Jody, found a letter in his belongings, and his one word was "love wins." And so she started the Mason Moore Foundation so that we can show how love wins to the Montana police departments and sheriff's offices here. And so we throw a huge Love Wins bash that we like to do auction items, and this would be the one auction item that we are trying to create this year.
So let's see that. That is absolutely just gorgeous. So what we're going to do with this today is we are actually going to burn the outside part of the state along with the line for any law enforcement, fire department, ambulance drivers, okay? This is kind of important to me. It's important to Brittany that, we do this project. They're gonna raffle this off. So if you want a chance to win this, you need to show up at their Love Wins Bash, okay? So I'm gonna work with her today on trying to get this burned. So I thought I'd take you guys along for the ride on how I burn the wood. It's done chemically. I don't actually get out my little wood burner and burn it anymore. So it takes me a little less time. The program we use is called a Cricut, and we cut out whatever we want. We design whatever we want. We can put it on wood, we can put it on anything, and then we can burn it. So we're going to take you along for the ride today. Thank you, Brittany, for sharing the Mason Moore Foundation. So this is very important to me. This is something that I would love to have displayed in my house. So, all right, so we're going to take you along for the ride. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go grab some chemicals and get this thing set up. So let's do this. All right, so let's go over to the table. We'll get that laid out. All right, so I had some stuff sitting on my table saw. So we have this aluminide chloride product, and we're going to add that in here with some water. And I have my instructions on how I was doing this because it's been a while since I've done it. So I needed a refresher course. So, and so we needed half a cup of warm water, which I got out of the house, thanks to my wife, and some food thickener, and that's all that goes into this. So we'll get this all put together and get it measured out and figure out what we got to do. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to try to get you guys moved over to the table here real quick, and we'll get you can see my fat fingers for just a second. And I'm going to get you put in the other one at the table. So that way you can kind of see how this is put together and how it's done. All right, sorry for the shakiness. You guys are just going to have to tolerate it for just a minute. So I'm going to make sure I get this table put together good enough so you guys can see what we're doing. All right, we're missing one more thing. So we got to go get one more thing, which I have over here. So we are missing a paintbrush, which we now have. So here we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my daughter sit down with me. And I'm going to move over here next to her. And we'll show you how this is done. So first thing we need, we'll do the food thickener first. We've got a tablespoon. So the measurements go as this. So I have 1 tablespoon of the aluminum. And it gets kind of clumpy, so you got to kind of mash it down in there a little bit so that you get a nice powder. And it's easier to mix too. So I'm not too, pretty close. So we'll dump that in. Now my wife was nice enough to let me borrow one of her containers so that I can mix this. And then we're going to do the food thickener. So, and we're going to do 8 of these. And why is there another thing in here? Ooh, we got the bonus. We got the bonus thing. Look at that. They even put something in there. As you can tell, I have not done a whole lot of these. I did do quite a few a year ago. So there's 1, 2. So teaspoons versus tablespoons. So we're going to have to do a little conversion. I've put 2 tablespoons in already. So I'm probably thinking 2 tablespoons is equal to 2 teaspoons. We're looking it up here real quick. So I should have looked. I just grabbed one. Oh, hey. Hmm.
3 teaspoons in a tablespoon.
3 teaspoons in a tablespoon. So we need
roughly
1 more tablespoon. I'll give us 6. That's 6 in there already. And so 7 and 8 will come out of this. So what we'll do is we'll do it this way. There we go. Because they have measurements on the back. So we'll do it that way. There we go. We're good. And we're going to leave that in there. Because it came in there, that's what we're going to do. We're going to leave it in there. All right, now we pour the warm water in here. And then we're going to stir this up. And you know what we're going to do? We're just going to use one of my stir sticks. I have stuff laying on this table all the time, and I do it for a reason. So that way, I need to mix something, I can actually do it. And then we're missing one more key thing for doing this after we get this all mixed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let my daughter, Brittany, finish stirring this up. And I'm going to go get my last piece of equipment that needs to go with this. So we're going to go over here to the All right, so last key piece of equipment, we needed a heat gun. So we're gonna get the heat gun firing on all cylinders too while we're at it. And I don't know what I think I had my temp. I think my temp is, and I already got it set. 940 degrees for your temp. And then this is just going to be cool because I got it to shut down here again. But I already had the temp set. And we're going to take a quick peek at what we got going here so that she can... Oh, yes, that looks good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take that turned out pretty cool, huh? So now what you're going to do is take the paintbrush and just on the outlines where the wood is going to be showing on this, and just have her paint it on. And you want to do more of a brush stroke. There you go. Perfect. Looks good. That's awesome. And then you just want to make sure, so you want to make sure that you're covering everything perfectly even on this. So that way, when you start putting the heat to it, and then what we're going to do is we're going to peel this vinyl that you get with the Cricut. We're going to peel this off after we're done with this. This has got to set for probably about 5 to 10 minutes. So that way it will set up and cure. It's got to kind of harden a little bit. Your thickness it will vary. And then you can also, when you're doing it with the heat gun, you can play with it and you can kind of get it a little bit of a shade. So if you do this, depending on how far away you get from it, will give it either light, or if you get really close, it'll give it a dark. So we're going to play with the shading a little bit. I think this will be really cool once it's done. It's a natural edge piece of wood, so I'll show you that in just a second. Well, actually, you might be able to see it in the camera right there. See, natural edge. It's beautiful. It is just a piece of pine, but you can either hang this or I don't know if she plans on putting a coating on the top that we might be able to, you could probably use it as a cutting board. You could do whatever you want with it. So, but if you want a chance, you need to go to the Love Wins Bash to get this, okay? Brittany, how do they get a hold of tickets?
Tickets are on sale through our foundation website, which is masonmoorefoundation.com. And tickets are still available. We don't have very many left, so you got to get out and get them sooner rather than later.
Who all attends this?
It's anybody and everybody. Like, it's not just police officers or sheriff's deputies. It is a mixture of just the community as well. It's one of our huge fundraisers so that we can provide grants to these different agencies around Montana that are small and cannot afford to get regular equipment like bulletproof vests or do an upgrade in their tasers because tasers do go out of expiration. Just different things like that.
So, highway patrol, sheriff's department, police department, anybody who's out there on the road protecting us right now?
Specifically here in Montana.
Okay.
So, any agency here in Montana.
Good. So this is going back, and yes, you probably did figure out if you have subscribed to me and do not know where I live. I live in Montana. So I'm born and raised here in Montana. So that's why this is so important to me is Montana has been my home and will continue to be my home for the rest of my life. So I don't think that I'm going anywhere anytime soon. So, all right, this looks really good. We got everything covered pretty evenly, correct? Look like it? So what you can do is you can kind of lean down on the side and you can kind of look and see where you might have missed. And if you think that you've missed something, You can go back in, thicken it up just a little bit. I might have, you can cover that just a little bit more. There you go. And maybe this corner just a little bit. There you go. And don't be afraid to put a little bit more on. And it doesn't make a difference how much you use of this stuff. Because once it dries, you're never going to be able to see it until you start burning. And then you'll know where you missed. And you don't want to do that. So. But having the Cricut, it's a great tool to have, because you can go in and do all kinds of designs. I'm kind of playing and toying with some different ideas. I still have my antler pin that I plan on making. Yes, I will show you the antler one more time, okay? Just in case you miss it. All right, so I have an antler, and I'm going to take this and I'm going to turn it into a pin. So that'll be one of my videos coming up soon, now that I'm back in the shop. So I really had to worry about my wife there for a while. And like I say, you guys got to take care of your heart. Take care of your stuff, okay? And take care of the people that take care of us, okay? Mason Moore Foundation. So this is all really going hand in hand today for me. I did have to follow the ambulance over to Missoula, which was not a very fun ride for me. So this is something that is kind of important to make sure that we support those people that support us every day and out there putting their lives on the line. So, you know. All right. So how much more do we got to sit and wait? So what I do for a rule of thumb is, if I can put it down and it kind of still slides around, it's still kind of tacky, we're not good enough yet. So we're in 100% dry period. So we'll let this kind of roll for a minute. Roll. It's kind of like that movie Roads with, come on, you guys, help me out. I can't think of the name of that movie.
I was thinking more along the lines of Scooby-Doo.
Well, you know, Scooby's good too, but yes, so I'm probably dating myself just a skosh, but you guys can probably figure it out. Most of you guys that are on here, my subscribers, know me fairly personally. I have reached out to, well, I've gotten a few other subscribers, but it is good to kind of go into my background a little bit. So this is kind of a hobby thing for me, is being in my wood shop. I love my wood shop. I don't know what I'd do without it on the weekends. And yes, I have not put up the video yet for my pine cone resin lamp. It kind of happened in the middle, and I've got some video put together, which I will try to get edited fairly soon. The first one I did, it did not work out in my favor, so I'm going to try to figure out how to fix it. So we'll put that on camera so that you can see how I fixed it, which is chucked up on the lathe right over there somewhere behind you. So we'll get that in. Got the horn. I will also have special guests in the shop. I will get another video done. This one is for 48 of the puzzle pieces with a little phrase on it. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I want you to watch the video. When I get this, I will have special guests in the shop again that day, and they will talk about why and how come. So that way we're covered. I'm doing a lot of these kind of one-off project things. I need to start getting some videos up. I told you guys it was probably not going to be for about a month, but we're going to get some stuff up within the next week. So this one will be coming up on Friday. This is the weekend of the 3rd, I believe, 4th. So when is the Mason Moore? We're talking dates. So when is the date for the Love Wins Bash.
March 25th.
March 25th. So I will have this up next weekend. So you guys all got to subscribe and get your tickets and go out and see this project in person, because I'm telling you, I've already been told that video does not do any of my projects a bit of justice. But I'm just giving you a touch on what I do in the shop and why I do it and how much I love being in my shop. This is kind of an outlet for me during the week with my job. I like to just get out and cut loose. I've usually got tunes going in the shop. I got all kinds of stuff going on in the shop. So, and the heater loves to kick on, and then I'm trying to talk to you guys and it blasts me out. So, check this one more time. Ooh, we're just about. So we'll get down to the peeling part fairly soon here. We're only 21 minutes. I've done longer videos. I've done a couple of 1.5 hour videos, so we can edit it and get it down to where we're at and make sure that we're within what we need to be. So I'm not too worried about it. And I won't cut out the important stuff, so. So is this a black tie affair?
Those of us that are on the board tend to dress up a little bit more. But we have, due to being in Montana, we have people out there that wear their nice, very nice blue jeans and cowboy boots and a cowboy hat. So it's kind of a fancy, a little dressier shindig is what Jody likes to say.
So fancy, that means, you know, nice jeans with no holes in the knees. Oops, sorry, no holes in the knees. Okay, a little captain going on there. So we got no holes in the jeans. And yes, they are a pair of Wranglers. They are my nicer Wranglers. So I'm wearing them in the shop today because I didn't feel like running through my closet to find my old ones. And I'm not going to get very messy today. So this is going to be probably the only project I'm going to do for today. And then we'll go from there. So it'll be next weekend when I really get into the shop and start working at it again. So, oh. So you having fun yet? Watching paint dry? And we're still tacky, so, you know, we'll let it run. We'll get this out. This is going to be really cool. I love the natural edge. If everybody can see this, I'll give you a little bit better. I know you've seen it a little bit better, but there's that natural edge. It's still got the bark on the sides. So this would be a really cool, check this out. So how would you like to have that hanging up in your entryway? Or you could hang it on the outside. So we have this done. She'll probably put some polyurethane on the top of this. So that way it kind of protects it a little bit. So, and I'll get her squared away with what to use and how to use it, and we'll get her squared away on that. So that way, when you get this, it'll be ready to hang in your house. Only if you win and only if you show up. So those are key things right there.
We have other items that we do sell on our foundation website as well. So if you want to just check it out, it has all of our information, and you can even get a hold of Jody through that website using the email address on that website. And again, our website is masonwarfoundation.com. So check us out, and we'll hopefully see you there. We also have our annual meeting on that Friday before the bash. So more than welcome to come and check out what we're all about and kind of read and listen to our updates.
This is, something that Mason's wife had put together for this. So you know, it's crucial that, you know, he left behind kids and a wife, and it's tough on the kids, it's tough on the wife, and I used to be in law enforcement, and this kind of hit a little bit home for me. So this is stuff, and how they've got this thing set up is just absolutely phenomenal. You know, they're reaching out and helping law enforcement get the things that they need to do their job. If you don't have the right tool, it's like me in the shop. You know, I didn't have the right tools. I need the right tools. I go get the right tools to do a project or to do whatever I need to do. Lathes. I got 3 lathes in the shop, so I've got one that I can do duplicating. I've got one that a bigger one that I can turn bigger projects. I got a small one for doing pens. Speaking of pens, so I did a pen set last year for these guys, and it went. And people were actually, according to you, were fighting over who was going to get the pen set pencil. So I did a pen and pencil, and I did it in a thin blue line. I don't know if I still have one of those blanks left or not. Let me look. I think
Bottom of your box on that side.
right there. So this is part of a blank that blew up on me, but you'll get the picture. So that was a thin blue line pen that I did, and it blew up on the end, so I couldn't use it. That end, so it blew up, so I couldn't use it. So I had to get a couple more, and I got these done. So they were fighting over who was going to get these pins last year. So I've done several. So and Brittany's going to do this project this year, and then I might do another project next year. So you guys are just going to have to wait and see if I do another project. Should I do another project?
Yeah.
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 All of my time for the projects, 100% donated. I'm not expecting anything out of this. What I do expect is some more subscribers, though, so that way I can up my channel a little bit more. That's the only thing I'm expecting out of this, is some more subscribers. So we'll get that squared away.
And if you don't have the availability to come to the foundation, you are more than welcome to donate on our website as well to help our law enforcement and help us increase those grants that we award to these agencies. So there's more than one way to contribute back.
Yes.
And we always are looking for stuff to auction off for the Love Wins Bash. So if you would like to donate in that regards, we are able to accept donations like that as well.
Yeah, I donated that pen and pencil set last year, and it was a very feel good for me moment when I let her take those pens and pencils and go and get them auctioned off, so that it helps support the officers that need the help in any kind of means that they need. So now we'll see how close we are to drying. Oh God, we are just killing it today. So we're sitting here watching paint dry, literally. Well, it's not really paint, but it's close. So the next step in this will be to try to peel this vinyl off, so that you won't be able to see anything, and then you'll just have to go over it with your heat gun and make it pop out. And we are starting to get some crusties right there. So crusties are good. And it does make quite a bit, as you can tell. So, and this is really easy to wash off. Basically, all I'll do is just run it underneath some hot water. Everything there is all food safe. So, most everything I do is all food safe. All my finishes that I put on my stuff are food safe. So, and yes, huh? I've got more food safe finishes over there next to the lathe. I do more, especially like with the bowls and stuff like that. So, yeah, paint drying. Da, 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 da. Maybe I should put some music to this too. What do you think? Should I put music to it? I could put some music to it.
The racehorse.
Yeah, so we're watching the paint dry with the racehorse music. Be kind of cool. And she's giggling because I now know how to edit. I can edit now, so we can do a lot of different things. Still just a little bit wet. I'm sure if the shop was about another 10 degrees warmer, we'd probably be in business. So what I might do is go take a peek at my heater and see why it's not kicking on, because it's actually getting kind of cold in here. And we're going to start it on. Here we go. And there she is. And we're going to turn it on. I was gone for that week. Ended up some ice and water in the shop coming in through one of the garage doors. Sits out in the back behind my house, so it's not very good for cars or trucks. My truck would not fit in here, so we're not even going to attempt it. And I'd have to go drive through the yard to get in here, and we're not doing that either. Because then I'd have to move my camper. I do plan on doing a lot of camping this summer, so we'll go do some fishing. So, getting back to my wife, she's got 6 weeks of healing to do. She'll have a ton of cardiac rehab stuff with the open heart. So that'll be quite a fun process. And then she's got another 6 weeks after that. In 6 weeks, she should be able to start driving again and doing a few other things. So to have an eye on her all the time anymore, which would be good. So, but keeping an eye on her is one of those fun things. Sit on the couch and we watch. It took me 2 weeks to watch everything that I had recorded on my DVR, and I couldn't believe it. It took 2 weeks. We were only gone for a week, but it took me 2 weeks to get it all off. They just kept piling on, kept piling on, kept piling on. So that was quite the trip. So we finally finished it up last night. So it was kind of nice. Now we're just waiting for next week's stuff to hit so we can watch everything on there. And I like watching it so that way I can fast forward through the commercials. Sorry, I don't have any commercials on my stuff, so can't really fast forward. But I might do some editing on this paint drying thing, so I might do a little bit of editing. And you can listen to me sound like a chipmunk. getting there. The shop's starting to warm up. I could probably take this over and put this in front of the heater and get it to dry a little faster so we can take it off. Which is not a bad idea, I'm thinking. Away just so that it helps dry. Stuff falling out of the inside of it. As soon as we can get it, yeah, we might be able to get the vinyl off here in a minute. The shop is not very warm. I anticipated, and then the heater quit. But I can show you what I'm actually looking for when we're doing this. So we're just going to point that off the direction that way. So what we're looking for is, you can tell, you see that white kind of crusty stuff on the side? That's what we're looking for when it starts to dry. So we might be able to start peeling this off. I think we're probably pretty good on maybe that piece. We'll make sure that we're good. Just by chance, you have another one of these? No? You'd have to make another one? No. So if we screw up, she's going to have to make another one. Yeah, I think you should be able to.
No, I was counting on your expertise.
See? She left it to the expert. Okay, there's the first piece. And what we're going to do is we're just going to go really high on it. And we're just going to see if we can get the other crusty part to go crusty some more. And once we do that, then she can peel that one off. Okay, and you can peel that one off right there. Okay, here we go. So here's the other thing too with this, is you want to make sure that you don't buy the cheaper vinyl when you're doing these. You want to buy the little bit more expensive vinyl, because when you're pulling this back up, so when you're pulling this back up, or actually when it's down, you don't want that stuff to seep underneath that vinyl. So you want to make sure that you have a good tack on it. And I actually have a pick to get these off. It's going to be good. So I'm going to grab that box and put the tools. So the wife was actually nice enough, and this is what I'm talking about, a pick. So this will help get the little center stuff, the little dot pieces out of where they need to be without messing stuff up. So she bought me a whole kit. It comes with the tweezers, it comes with a pick. Yep.
Come on.
It's kind of tedious work, but now, look at that. Looks like just a plain old board, right? Pretty cool. Now, watch the magic happen. Take the heat gun, and we're about 3 to 4 inches away from it, and we're just going to kind of go over everything kind of lightly, and then what we're going to do is we'll go back and I'll show you kind of what I'm talking about with the shading. And you can see that stuff starting to show up. And you want to keep your gun moving. You don't want to just have it sitting still and have it going along the edge of what you kind of got going. And then we'll go in and we'll give this thing just a little cleanup once we're 100% done with it. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to do the shading part. I'm going to show you. So you're just going to put your gun down at like a little 45-degree angle, and we're going to just kind of get that work back and forth. So basically all we're going to do is just get kind of a color going to it. So once you get a color going, then you can see it starting to show up. And then you can really start going after it. getting tired. Yes, I'm gonna let her go because, dude, my arm's getting tired. Yep, it'll get a little bit dark. You got to be just a little careful on it.
Be very careful.
So you got to keep your gun moving at all times. So that is the biggest key, the biggest trick. So I was talking about that, those puzzle piece plaques that I'm going to do. And actually, this is exactly what I'm going to do to burn those plaques that I have to do. So that way, it's a real smooth, real clean looking for the wood burning part of it. So, and we'll go in, we're going to just touch this off with some 2000 grit. We'll just give it a quick light sand. We'll get rid of any of the rough impurities off of this, and then it should look really, really good. See how she's getting that little bit darker, just depending on how long you leave it sit. So we're going to try to get this one little spot right here and see if we can kind of darken that up, because I think that line in the center, we want that a little bit darker than the rest of the state. And then depending on your knots and your stuff that you have in the wood, that's also going to play a factor of how light or how dark this gets. So we're going to try to do a little bit more right up here by the love, and then we'll get that little bit right up in here.
It takes some patience.
It does. It takes a lot of patience to get it just right.
I'm good with
And you want to try to define your edges, where your edges are at and stuff, with like where this love wins. You want your edges to really pop. So especially like that. And I don't think I need to do any more up there where the love wins. So we're going to come back down here to where this, to your blue line, what's supposed to be kind of a blue line. So what we're going to do is we're just going to try to darken this up just a little bit more. And then how close you get to it is going to tell you. Okay. And then I just got to shut this off, and then it's gonna fan down until it's done. There's what it looks like, ladies and gentlemen. What do you guys think? That is absolutely gorgeous. So what we're gonna do is just take a piece of 2000 grit sandpaper. We're just gonna kind of go over and kind of smooth it up just a little bit, just so that it looks nice. Just have a bunch of 2000 grit sandpaper. Excuse me, right back there. There you go. So then what we're going to do And this is where the vinyl had a little bit where it got underneath. So now what you got to do is you really got to take your time and clean that stuff up. It's a lot of hand fine finish sanding. So this is where it's going to get even more tedious.
Very detail oriented.
Yes, very detailed. But when you get done with the project, it's going to be something that you really like.
Vinyl is just a little sticky.
Yeah, and then you're going to have your sticky stuff left over from your vinyl. So that's something that you got to keep in mind too. Is the vinyl that you use? You're not using the cheap stuff, so you got to be just really, really careful. Yeah, you know. So the other trick that I do, and I'm going to give this to Britt and let her kind of do the tedious while I kind of explain a little bit. So this vinyl that you use, the other trick that I do is I'll go in and I'll actually put a 2000 grit sandpaper down first, and I will sand the entire piece and get it so that the vinyl, and it won't leave any kind of marks or any kind of other stuff. You're still going to get a little bit of your wood pouring up because you are using the more expensive kind of vinyl. So, and that is the key, is use a little bit more expensive vinyl so that way it will stick and that stuff doesn't get underneath the vinyl. That's how you keep these crisp lines on it. So that is key. So for now, I will let you guys go. We are about 54 minutes, so we're almost an hour in. It was kind of fun to sit and watch paint dry with my daughter. So I will let you guys go for now, and this will be up on Friday. And peace out. Have a good week. Don't get hurt. Stay safe. Do what you need to do for your family. All right. See ya.